This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Well, if you're looking for a break from the heat, our first cold snap of the season is nearly here.
Let's check in now with ABC7's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with a look at your first alert forecast. Sounds nice, Bob.
Already starting to feel out there pretty decent, and low temperatures expected down in the low to mid 60s tonight. And that frontal boundary, which brought us all the rain yesterday, is well down to the south now and continues to push off to the southeast. We had a few morning showers around earlier today, but the heavy rain that we saw last night, record-breaking at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, 3 to 4 inches of rain causing some flooding last night. None of that tonight, just some cool breezes and another cold front on the way. We are going to see, that's right, fall finally make an appearance here along the Sun Coast, something we haven't had in a while. But this is a fairly strong cold front. We have another one behind it, which will move through late tonight and tomorrow morning. That secondary front is the one that will bring us the big chill tomorrow, with high temperatures only into the low 70s to mid 70s tomorrow. Dew point temperatures have really dropped. In fact, look at that 38-degree dew point in Pensacola right now, 49 in Jacksonville. That really tells the story as far how cold it's going to get. Our dew point temperatures in the low 60s right now, and we'll stay into the 60s. So we'll probably see low temperatures tonight, right around 64, 65 degrees. That's what we're anticipating here along the Sun Coast. But in the 40s and into the low 50s in the panhandle of Florida, and we'll warm up only in the low 70s. But with all this great news, we still are in tropical season. And there is a tropical low developing off the coast of Nicaragua, which is expected to have a pretty good chance of developing into a tropical cyclone and pushing off in this direction over the upcoming days. We'll talk more about this and if it will have an impact on our weather here coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. By this time next year, bicycle riders and pedestrians using the Legacy Trail won't have to stop when crossing over Laurel Road.
Construction for an overpass above Laurel Road is set to begin in just a few weeks. That's where we find ABC7's Erica Jackson, who was live from that section of the trail to explain why this is all needed. Erica?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. Up until this project, bicyclists and pedestrians would have to press this button behind me, then wait for the signal to turn green before crossing Laurel Road. But some people that are in this area often, they tell us that the bicyclists don't wait for the light to turn green. They try and make their way across the road by going in between cars, which could have some serious consequences.
Laurel Road is a very busy road.
Thousands of drivers travel along Laurel Road every day, but many drivers must come to a stop when they reach the intersection with the Legacy Trail.
It might sound like it's not inconvenient, but a minute stopped to some people is a lot.
The Florida Department of Transportation is getting ready to start construction on a 90-foot-long overpass, so bicyclists and pedestrians can cross about 18 feet above Laurel Road without affecting traffic flow. Some bicyclists, like Frank Lamantia, don't agree with the project's $3.1 million price tag.
It's a lot of money that's being spent unnecessarily, whereas we had a light here that did the job.
The bridge will feature stairs and 2 handicap-accessible inclines, but Lamantia says it will be physically challenging for bikers who can't travel uphill.
I would rather just go around it and stay on a level trail.
Laurel Road is down to 1 lane in each direction, while utility contractors relocate underground piping before construction begins. Sandra Terry understands drivers will be inconvenienced during the nightly lane closures, but says the project will benefit everyone in the end.
You can't get better without something. You got to give up something to get better.
FDOT is scheduled to answer the public's questions at a meeting on Monday. That'll take place at the Sandra Sims Terry Community Complex. That's Monday from 5 to 7 p.m. And then construction is expected to begin the next week on November 6th with a expected completion date of fall of 2018. Reporting live in Laurel, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Erica, thank you. Money can have a big impact on a campaign for office, but it is affecting decision-making on the Suncoast. That's what we wanted to find out. The recent approval of a controversial project at Bradenton called Aqua by the Bay featured 2 prominent area developers. In all but one, Manatee County Commissioner has accepted their money in the form of a campaign contribution. Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll take a closer look at the financial ties between Carlos Baruf, Larry Lieberman, their companies, and the money they have committed to political races in Manatee County.
These developers make millions of dollars from the decisions of county commissioners. Changing the land use from what it was to what it is today can be somewhere close to $100 million decision. So those developers can easily spend a few $100,000 either directly or indirectly.
Hear what commissioners have to say about these prominent figures donating to their campaigns coming up tonight at 7.
Now to a debate out of Washington. After failing to repeal and replace Obamacare, the top priority now for Republicans is tax reform. It's an issue that has brought President Trump to Capitol Hill for his first appearance at the regular Tuesday policy lunch. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest from Washington.
Greeted by a mob of reporters and one lone protester, the president arrived for his lunch with Republican senators. Trump has some work to do to mend fences after sparring with several GOP senators, including John McCain, Bob Corker, and Mitch McConnell. But Republicans in the White House are determined to get tax legislation into law this year.
Our tax cuts will restore America's competitive edge and lower the crushing tax burden on the American people.
The Republican tax plan calls for steep cuts for corporations and potentially for individuals. It would double the standard deduction used by most Americans, shrink the number of tax brackets from 7 to 3 or 4, and repeal inheritance taxes on multi-million-dollar estates.
If there's anything that unifies Republicans, it's tax reform.
But crucial details of the plan have yet to be worked out. Democrats are urging the president to pay attention to those details.
No more tweeting. No more superficiality. Read the bill.
And even Republicans are worried about the tax plan. Senator Corker accused President Trump of overpromising. The president has said the tax bill will not affect 401k plans, mortgage deductions, or charitable deductions.
Leave this effort, if you will, to the tax writing committees. Let them do their work and not begin taking things off the table.
Meanwhile, Republican leaders say at this point they're not worried about the ongoing Corker-Trump fight on taxes and other issues, not worried that that will derail the push for tax reform. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Florida's Legislative Black Caucus is calling for an apology from White House Chief of Staff John Kelly for misstatements about a South Florida congresswoman. President Trump and Representative Frederica Wilson have sparred over details of a telephone call the president made to offer condolences to the widow of Army Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. Amid the sparring, Kelly claimed Wilson boasted in 2015 about raising money for the FBI's Miami field office during a dedication ceremony. But in a video of that ceremony, Wilson discussed how she pushed for legislation to name the building after 2 fallen agents, but she did not talk about the building's funding.
We understand that he may say anything on any given day, but we expected a 4-star general to bring this president up to his level, not for the general to come down to the president's level.
The Black Caucus is also calling for an explanation of the October 4th death of Johnson and 3 other U.S. soldiers in Niger.
Florida state colleges plan to ask state lawmakers for $30 million during the upcoming legislative session. Representatives with the colleges say the money would allow them to hire more faculty, provide more counseling services, and create more programs. If lawmakers agree to that request, they will also offset a $30 million cut to the schools sustained in this year's budget. The 28 colleges are advancing a budget plan to increase funding to $80 million next academic year, which is up from $60 million this year.
Insurance claims from Hurricane Irma have now topped $5 billion in Florida. Florida's Office of Insurance Regulation reporting nearly 773,000 claims have been filed, worth an estimated $5.3 billion. The figures continue to be driven by claims in Miami-Dade, Orange, Broward, Lee, Collier, Polk, Brevard, Duval, Palm Beach, and especially hard-hit Monroe counties. Homeowners accounted for 66% of the claims, and about a quarter of them have already been settled with payments.
Manatee County is setting a strict deadline when it comes to storm debris pickup. If you live in the county and crews have not yet come through your area to pick up the limbs and branches, you must put it out by the curb no later than Monday, October 30th. The county says more trucks are now on the road, and if all debris is ready for pickup, the whole process will move quicker. You can also take your yard waste to the Lena Road landfill for free from now until this Sunday.
They're starting to look a little better.
I know.
Neighborhood streets and roadways, yep.
Looking a bit clearer.
Yep. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the genetic causes of breast cancer now a little clearer.
What hundreds of researchers from around the world have discovered when we come back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Player Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Breast cancer affects 1 in 8 women in their lifetime, and now a new study reveals a number of previously unknown genes that point to risk for the disease. As ABC's Serena Marshall tells us, that discovery could unlock more ways to predict breast cancer.
Genetic testing for breast cancer. For women who have a strong family risk, it's the blood test that could help them determine next steps. But beyond the notorious BRCA1 and 2 mutations, many of the genetic causes of breast cancer remain undiscovered. But an international consortium of researchers aim to change that, analyzing 10 million DNA segments from hundreds of thousands of women. The team discovering 65 distinct genetic mutations linked to an increased risk of breast cancer, changes not present in cancer-free women. Importantly, each of these genes they found contribute only minimally to overall breast cancer risk, but several together could increase risk more significantly. And while doctors won't be offering the test anytime soon, it gives women more hope for personalized medical testing and treatment in the future. The ultimate hope? To create individualized treatments based on a patient's unique DNA. With this Medical Minute, I'm Serena Marshall, ABC News.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
And we're expecting a lot of people out at Benderson Park this weekend, Saturday morning. for the Making Strides Walk, which is always well attended. Make sure you get your groups, get your money raised. Hopefully the weather cooperates. We are watching a tropical system. I mentioned it earlier, an 80% chance for storms on Saturday, but right now it appears the timing will be later in the day, and so this is taking place in the morning, and it should be okay. Of course, as we get closer to that, we'll see, but right now it's looking fairly decent for Saturday morning. Right now, we're looking at clear skies. Look at the ripples on the waves here on into Sarasota Bay. This indicates the small craft advisory that's in effect now. That's due to the strong north wind that we're seeing. Unfortunately for boaters, it's going to stay that way again tomorrow. I'm supposed to go fishing tomorrow with Captain Johnny, but doesn't look like it's going to happen as a result of that, strong wind out of the northwest. Well, the first front, as I told you, is through us already. It had created some heavy weather for us in terms of heavy rainfall. That is now southeast of our particular area. Dry air is filtering in behind it, but there's another secondary front that's moving through the panhandle right now, and this secondary front is the one that'll bring us the big chill, it looks like, throughout the day tomorrow, and especially tomorrow night. Lows tonight will be close to seasonal averages. It's been so far above average lately that 64, 65 degrees is not too far away from where we normally are, but tomorrow night will be a different story. Some heavy weather down to our south. Even had a report of a couple of tornadoes there along Alligator Alley, along I-75 there earlier today, just to the northwest of Miami. That has since moved on, and some bigger storms now moving into Lake Okeechobee, but no rain around here. The evening planner looking good. Clear skies and 69 by 11 o'clock. What's really nice is, though, the low dew point temperatures that have already started to move in. They'll be even more so tomorrow. You can see from the water vapor imagery, this shows the amount of moisture in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, and you can see the secondary push right there. That's that next line. That will bring some cloudiness to our area, a few clouds and maybe a sprinkle or two late tonight and tomorrow morning. But it will sweep through, and those winds will pick up tomorrow. Northwest at 10, so it's not too windy right now. That dew point temperature has dropped 1 degree in the last hour. It's 63, and the pressure rising to 9.88 inches. The high today was at 79 degrees because of the rain and the cold front pushing on through. It's a little bit below average. 74, though, was a warm start. Typically, there's our normal low at 65 degrees, so we'll be again, slightly below that tomorrow morning. The rainfall that we had last night was about 2 inches at the Sarasota Braden Airport. Some areas picking up 3 to 4 inches of rain in just a short period of time. Wednesday's hourly calls for low 70s by the afternoon hours for highs, and north winds will make it feel a little bit cool out there, considering we've been in such a warm pattern. This cool air will be a big impact on our bodies. You'll feel it tomorrow. And then the futurecast showing this line of clouds and showers moving on through. There's a little bit of cloudiness I mentioned as the passage of that secondary cold front, but not much for us as it makes its way through. And then we have to focus down south. Once again, there's an area of low pressure that's trying to develop down there. The Hurricane Center is giving this a pretty good chance at 50% of developing in the next 5 days. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but this area of low pressure is going to continue to move off to the northeast, and it will again keep us in that northwesterly flow for a couple of days now. For boaters, winds will be out of the north at 15 to 20 knots, subsiding to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. And look at the tides on your screen right there. They are, and sunset will be at 6:53. Tonight, mostly fair, breezy and cool. North winds 10 to 20. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy and cool again, and 75 for a high. North winds 10 to 20. The extended forecast then. A chilly start on Thursday with 55 degrees expected near the coast, low 50s inland. And then we'll see that good chance for showers and storms late Saturday and early Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. No accidents right now to report, but traffic is backed up on State Road 70 in Manatee County in both the east and westbound lanes. And just a reminder, if you want to stay up to date on the latest breaking and local news and see alerts on your phone instantly, iPhone and iPad users will need to download our new news app. All you have to do is go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will get that new version downloaded automatically.
Wall Street investors are definitely loving their McDonald's stock. The burger giant stock price climbing nearly 2% today after the fast food chain exceeded revenue forecasts. The jump was largely fueled by a sharp 6% increase to same-store sales over last year. CEO Steve Easterbrook's strategy of embracing technology and revamping the restaurant's menu seems to be working. Hungry customers can now pay for Big Macs at kiosks or have them delivered through Uber Eats. McDonald's shares are up by a whopping 36% for the year. The Mega Millions lottery is in for some mega changes. Starting with next week's drawing, the game will cost twice as much to play, up to $2 per ticket. It will also have longer odds, but feature bigger prize payouts. Jackpots will now start at $40 million. That's up from $15 million. Lottery officials say the changes are a response to the customer demands for more high-dollar jackpots, and it will also allow for better competition against the rival Powerball game, where we see huge jackpots sometimes.
Right, as if $40 million wasn't a high enough jackpot to begin with, right?
Yeah, who bothers with that one, right? Yeah. Entertainment news is next.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
I heard about the Dettoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dettoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dettoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Sarasota is the first city in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community, and we're going to show you why. Watch Suncoast View all this week at 4 for Age-Friendly Week. See why the world recognizes our home as such a great place for people of all ages.
He is not running for the U.S. Senate.
The Michigan singer has been teasing the possibility of running for the past 3 months, but today he told Howard Stern during an interview that he is not running and said he was surprised anybody even thought that he was serious. Rumors of a bid for the Senate began in July when the musician, whose real name is Bob Ritchie, tweeted a picture of a Kid Rock for U.S. Senate yard sign.
At age 68, singer and songwriter Billy Joel is a father again. According to a representative, Joel's wife, Alexis, gave birth to daughter Remy Ann on Sunday. The Piano Man had just announced the pregnancy a little more than a week earlier. The couple has one other daughter, Della Rose, who was born in 2015. Joel also has a daughter, 31-year-old Alexa Ray Joel, from his marriage to Christy Brinkley.
Well, it appears the much anticipated Sex and the City sequel is actually not going to happen. In an interview with Piers Morgan, actress Kim Cattrall, known as Samantha Jones on the HBO hit, says she was never friends with her co-stars. She later clarified, saying it's a healthy place to be when there's a clear line between your professional life and your personal life. Cattrall has been taking heat from fans who blame her for the movie being called off.
If you're looking for a Halloween movie that mixes music with the scary stuff, we have news for you. Little Shop of Horrors is coming back to the big screen. The cult classic musical comedy fright flick, complete with a 23-minute ending sequence that was cut before the film hit cinemas back in 1986. Well, it is now in this new version, and it will play again at 600 U.S. theaters on Sunday, October 29th, and then again on Halloween night.
Do you have a favorite Halloween movie by any chance?
I think some of the, the horror ones, the Halloween movies with Jason.
Yeah, those are good.
Scary.
I always like Hocus Pocus. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.